Okay, this is Lorelia. Sorry for the delay. I wanted to make sure that I was recording on Zoom, and I know I am live on YouTube. So today, kind of want to talk about the PPP program, Paycheck Protection Program, some of the updates that's been going on. Today is the day for self-employed and independent contractors. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, pretty much the last couple of videos, I've been talking about how to obtain business funding for small business owners who have been affected by COVID-19. So I'm here right here in the state of New Jersey, and New Jersey as well as New York, our neighboring state, is one of these states that has been highly affected with COVID-19. The pandemic has hit us hard, and so many business owners are shut down. We're currently under what's called martial law. So basically, no businesses can be open. And so what does that mean? That means that some businesses, depending on what type of business that you have, can no longer, run a business. Employees can't get paid. Services can't be given to your customers, your clients. And so kind of want to talk about those independent contractors. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share my screen. And so let me come on over to the Treasury.gov website. Now, remember I said this in my last video if you didn't see it. That Treasury.gov is the place that you want to go to if you have questions or concerns about COVID-19. Although SBA is a website to go to as well, but the Treasury, understand how things are trickle down. Everything will start with the Treasury and things will trickle down. So with that being said, once you're on the website, you click on the red bar and that says for small businesses seeking direct relief from COVID-19, click here to learn about the Paycheck Protection Loans. Now, right here, I want to take you to, if you're a borrower, more information can be found here. Now, the reason why I want to start here, because this is the fact sheet. And so I'm currently in a group now where business owners are seeking questions about what they should do, what they should not do. The one thing that I do want to note, and this is what nobody will tell you, nobody is an expert, a total expert in this area. Why is that? I don't care if it's your CPA, if it's your banker, if it's a consultant, because things are changing on a daily or a weekly basis. And so the one thing that you can do to just arm yourself with some knowledge is stay on top of it as well. Because if you really truly feel like your business has been affected, by all means, you want to know what the laws are, what kind of remedy and help is there before you. So if you look at the Paycheck Protection Program information sheet, at this point, I did a lot of videos before this. You should know that this particular program, you can't just go to the SBA.gov website to apply for it. You either have to go to your bank. Last video, I did a live Q&A about the PPP program. And so you either got to go to your bank to and go through their portal to fill out the information, or you can go with a third party who is a certified SBA lender. Like myself, I work with certified SBA lenders. You can do that. Now, one may ask, well, what is the advantage of me going through my banker versus you working with someone like yourself, Lorelia? Well, the difference is that do you need advisement and help along with asking questions? Now, my last video, I took you to two websites. I have no affiliation with them. I have no business arrangement agreement with them. One was Wells Fargo, other one was Bank of America. I chose those two banks because they're national known banks. And since I'm doing a Zoom, which will be shown on a platform that can reach people from all over the country, most people are familiar with Wells Fargo. Most people are familiar with Bank of America. So with that being said, if you bank at those institutions, you pretty much just have a website to go to. Even if you were to call the 800 number, there's number one, you have your time, and you still may not get the questions answered the way you want. So one may say, well, oh, now I see why I will work with someone like yourself, Lorelia, because I will get my questions answered. I do have a lot of questions, but for those who just, just have some general things that they just not clear on, that's why I do these videos. So right here, this fact sheet, it goes into how the program works. Now, it says on the first line, the Paycheck Protection Program authorized up to $349 billion in forgivable loans to small businesses to pay their employees during COVID-19 crisis. All loan terms will be the same for everyone. Now, what does that mean? You don't have to think that another business owner is getting better terms than you, because at the end of the day, the terms are the same for everyone, but how they affect you will be based on the parameters of your business. Payroll, rent, interest on mortgage, and utilities. Are you using the funds for those things? Now, there's been a lot of uproar in a few Facebook groups that I'm part of, that they're saying that these funds are not going to be available outside of payroll. What they mean is that if you only use the funds for rent, if you only use the funds for more interest on mortgage, then it's not going to be forgiven. Now, this is what I tell people. You follow what is being put out by the Treasury and the SBA. That is why I do these videos, so you can fact find yourself. Don't even take my word for it. Fact find me. See where I'm getting my information from. Because even if you have a trusted advisor who may be your accountant, who may be your CPA, they may be your bank, your business banker, they may be a third-party consultant like myself, fact find. Have your information in front of you. Make sure you study it. And so when you have a question, you come from a place of, well, this is what I see. Can I get some clarity on this? Now, with that being said, it said the loan amounts will be forgiven as long as loan proceeds are used to cover payroll costs, mortgage interest, rent, and utilities over an 8-week period after the loan is made. Now, like I said, in many Facebook groups, people are going through an uproar talking about, it's not going to pay for this, it's going to pay for this, it's not going to pay for this. My thing is, go to the source. This is what the source says. Employee compensation levels are maintained. You want to make sure that you're able to still employ your independent contractors, your employees. Now, I'm not going to get into this video. It's not about, are these loans for the small business owner or is it for the big institutions? That's not what this video is for. It's to really fact find, to really look at the material that's right before you. Payroll costs are capped at $100,000 on an annualized basis for each employee. Due to likely high subscription, it is anticipated that not more than 25% of the forgiven amount may be for non-payroll costs. Loan payments will be deferred for up to 6 months. Now, this is when it gets good. When can I apply? Now, I'm going to disregard the April 3rd date because that date is over. I want to talk about today. Today is the moment. This is the moment that independent contractors and self-employed individuals are having their day. Starting on April 10th, which is today as I film this video, independent contractors and self-employed individuals can apply for and receive loans to cover their payroll. Understand the grammatic usage of the word THEIR, their payroll, and other certain expenses through existing SBA lenders. There. Now, one may say, well, Aurelia, I'm not really too clear on my role as a business owner and my role of having employees. The best way around that is to truly answer the questions on the application truthfully. That's just it. If you answer the questions truthfully, you don't have to worry about getting yourself in a jam, because you will have your documents showing that what you put on the application is truthful. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the application. I'm pulling up my daughter's Barbie stuff. I apologize. I'm going to go to the application. Okay, this is the lender's application. Okay, the borrower's application. Now, this is the borrower's application. Now, what do I mean when I say about answering it truthfully? Now, of course, if you have this application, if you're filling it out online, then you may not have to fill this out. But I would start here to just get a feel of what questions are there, because it should, or it may mirror what your banker is going to have you to fill out. So now when you start filling it out, you don't have to be shell shocked like, oh my God, I'm filling this application online. I don't know. You'll know because you have it right in front of you. So with that being said, you will check one. On top of it, which one of these would be referred to your type of business? Answer truthfully. Legal name, business address, fill this information, DBA or trademark if applicable. Now this right here is where you want to be truthful about. Average monthly payroll. Fill it out. What is your average monthly payroll? Whether it's for yourself or whether it's for your employees, what is it? Times 2.5 plus the EDIDL. What is the EDIDL? The Economic Injury Disaster Loan. That's that $10,000 grant that people just are thinking that it's just free money. That has to be taken into account. And then you will fill that out, and then they want to know the number of employees. Well, if you feel like you don't have no employees, then you will put 0. And now the purpose of this loan, and it says select more than one: payroll, lease, mortgage interest, utilities, or other. Now understand, if you put other, it's not going to be forgiven, because according to the fact sheet, according to all the information regarding the PPP program, it clearly says that in order to have the loan forgiven, if you want to have it forgiven, you have to use it for payroll, rent, mortgage interest, or utilities. Now, if you use it for something else, inventory, services, capital projects, it may not get forgiven based on the rules. But now the interest terms are very favorable. So let's just say you don't use the funds for that. The terms are still favorable. So it's all about just answering the application truthfully. And then it goes into applicant ownership. What is your ownership? Your name, title, percentage, EIN, SSN, and then address. And then it goes into a series of questions. And one may say, well, Aurelia, you make it seem so easy. The reason why I'm saying it's not that it's easy, but that you want to approach this truthfully. And then you go into the certifications. The applicant was in operation on March 15th, 2020, and had employees for whom it paid salaries and payroll taxes or other independent contractors. Is that true? You mark, you initial. Current economic uncertainty make this loan request necessary to support ongoing operations for the applicant. Is it true? So that's really what I want to point out about it being truthful, because at the end of the day, if no one has ever told you this is not free lunch, I'm just scrolling down the purpose of this form, instructions for completing this form. Now, if you look at the bottom, it says, if applicant is refinancing an economic injury disaster loan, add the outstanding loan of an EDIL made between January 31st, 2020 on April the 3rd, 2020, less the amount of any advance under the EDIL COVID loan to request and indicated on the form. So basically what they're doing right there, it's a calculation, but if you have the EDIL funds, remember the EDIL funds was a grant. This is where a lot of confusion is coming from, because a lot of people are wondering, well, if I got the EDIL and got approved, can I still do the PPP? You can still do the PPP, but you got to be truthful, because what they're going to do is they're going to back that EDIL money, that grant money, from your PPP money. Understand that. That's very important. So it's not a case of can I do one and not do the other. It's just a case of they're going to deduct that from your PPP money. This is where you want to be able to be very truthful, because I can't stress enough that there's no free lunch. Even in terms of your accounting, in order for you to keep track and keep clean accounting for the money. I kind of want to do a separate video on that, but I'm just going to address it here. How to keep your money clean if you were to get the money, the PPP loan, and now that you have the loan, I would create a separate bank account just for the PPP money and have the expenses that you have going through there, which is the payroll, the rent, the mortgage interest, or the utilities, to just hit that account. I would not commingle the PPP money into my operating account of my regular bank account. I would keep those two separate, because at least your books are clean. That in the event that when you go to certify to have that loan forgiven and you have to show any proof, that you can show clean proof that, hey, I got this amount of money from PPP, and as you can see, my expenses paid for the things that will allow me to get the loan relief forgiven. The payroll, the mortgage interest, the rent, and the utilities. Clean books. I would not commingle the money. I wouldn't put it in my regular operating. I wouldn't put it in my regular payroll account. I would keep the monies clean. It's almost like running a business, whereas you have your operating account. Now I know some business owners have multiple business accounts, but I would have my operating account, and then I would also have a separate account for just payroll. Want to go back to the form again, where it says all parties listed below are considered owners. Consider owners of the applicant as defined, as well as principals. And it goes into it. Sole proprietorship, sole proprietor. Partnerships, general partners, limited partners, 20% more of equity. Corporations or owners, 20 or more percent of the corporation. The list goes on and on and on. So there you have it. And then, of course, this was a 4-page document, fact sheet. But like I said, today is your day, independent contractors, self-employed individuals, to be able to proceed with the Paycheck Protection Program. Once again, this is Lorelia. If you have any questions, my links will be below this video. If you need some assistance with the PPP program, some clarity, there'll be a link for you to submit some prior information before we talk. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Good luck. Everybody stay safe. We'll get through this pandemic. Okay, once again, this is Lorelia, and I am signing off.